Hi, I'm Nick Rodriguez with the Squid Ink service team. Welcome to our video series covering the Orion coding and marking software. In today's video, we'll be talking about using the user data feature.
Today we're going to be discussing adding and using the user data feature in your print message for your Copilot print system through Orion. The user data feature, what that is it allows the line operator or whoever's running the machine to go ahead and manipulate a certain segment of the message. Since no message creation can be done on the controller, we can assign certain elements, specifically a text element or a barcode element that we can turn into what we call user data. So what we'll do here is we'll go over first the text side of things, and then we'll take a look at how it looks to do the encoder, and then finally look at how that is all presented and works once the message is on the controller itself. So the first thing we need to do is kind of determine what exactly our user data is going to represent. Now, the most common use for user data that we see in the field is lot codes. So that's what we're going to go with today's example using the text side of things. A lot of folks use this feature to go ahead and change the number of the lot code in their message, especially in situations where that changes, but the rest of the message stays relatively the same. So what we'll do here is we're going to add a text element to my message. And this is going to be my precursor, basically. I'm going to say this is going to have the word lot on there. So I'm just going to make it a little bit bigger here. And I'm going to change this to say lot, and then we'll give it the hashtag symbol there. And then right next to it is where I'm going to go ahead and put in my user data field. Now, to put in a user data field, it has to be either a text or a barcode. So for this example, we're going to go with text. I'm going to go ahead and make that about the same size as the last one here, right there. And then what we're going to want to do is once you have the element selected, you want to travel all the way up to the properties bar, and you should see this icon here, this user data. If not, look for an area that says dynamic data. It all depends on the resolution of your screen that you're looking at. So user data here, we're going to go ahead and use that. And what you'll see here is it changes the field. Now my text that was black turns into a blue variable data field, and it also becomes really large, right? So that's kind of part of deciding what you want to print, right? We have to know how big that that character, that element, that piece of information is going to be. So let's just jump down to the bottom here. What you'll see is data size. Data size, we want to shorten that up. So for if you're doing a date or a lot code or something similar like that, you want to count up every digit, every letter, every space, and every symbol. And that's going to be your number of characters. So what we want to do here is I usually tell people to count up your total and then add a +1, right? So for me, I'm just going to go with a 6 for my data size. And you can see it shrinks down my element significantly here. Default data, right now it's only printing default. So I can default it to say lot here. So that if nothing is inserted, we'll see lot number there, which is what we'll use. That's just our placeholder is what this is, okay? And then the prompt. The prompt is what's going to be asked of the line operator for them to put in the information. So again, I would just put in lot number and do something like that. So what'll happen is once this message makes its way onto the controller and they pull that message up to print, they will get a prompt on the controller screen that says lot number and a space next to it to fill in that information. So what we've done here is we've given ourselves a lot number prompt, we've got ourselves some default data, and then we've given our data size. So It defaults to 32, but that's not the cap. You can you can increase that quite a bit, I believe. But it always defaults to 32 here. So always make sure you change your data size to match what you are operating. With that being done, we're going to go ahead and save the message. And then we can go ahead and go down to File and hit Send to Printer. I'm just going out there and taking a look at the printers that we have. Yep, there it is. So we'll hit OK. And there goes all our fonts. Then we can hit close. Very good. So now once we go ahead and take a look at the message, we will see in the message on the controller, we'll see a prompt that asks us for the lot number, and we'll go ahead and put that lot number in there. We'll show you how that looks. The next one that I want to cover before we go and take a look at that controller will be the barcode. We'll go ahead and turn this into a user data field as well. All right, so the next available element that we can turn into a user data field is our barcode, which is useful if you need to change what your barcode is printing a few times a day or something like that, and that's the only item that's changing, or like in our case, we've got a lot number and also a barcode number that'll change as well. So what we're gonna do is we're going to take our existing barcode here, and we're going to turn that into a user data field. And again, you'll see something just like this. Your barcode will turn into a blue icon or a blue symbology, letting you know that this is variable data. But the steps on creating this are exactly the same here. So at the top, you want to let everybody know that this is going to be a prompt for the barcode. So I'll say just barcode number. So when the message gets pulled up, what we're going to actually see is we'll have two different user data fields that show up in two different prompts. We'll get one for our lot, and then we'll get one for our barcode. So we've got barcode number as our prompt. Just make sure that's what it says. Yep. And then for here, I don't want it to have any numbers, so I'm just going to go ahead and go all zeros here. That way I know whether or not it's been added correctly. And I think for our barcode size, we're going to shrink that down to something like 15, right? And with this, we can actually go down a little bit smaller because we're using the code 128, which is pretty forgiving when it comes to the data that gets put into it. So right now what we have is we've got our barcode prompt at the top, we've got our default data, all zeros, and our data size for that barcode being 10. That typically that number will vary depending on the type of barcode that you're using. But for our example, that's what we're going to go ahead and go with. I'm going to go up to the top here and save this message. And then again, we're going to go down to File and Transfer to Printer. And then once we transfer this over to the printer, we can go ahead and take a look at how that is represented on the controller screen itself. There we go. And we're successful. Good. So from here, let's go ahead and take a look at how that all looks on the controller.
All right, so we're over here on the controller. We've already moved those messages or transferred those messages on our controller, but we'll go ahead and go up to our folder here to pull it up. We were working with next message, so I'll go ahead and hit apply. So there are two different ways to go ahead and change the user data on your screen. One is to pull up the message and have it ready to be printed, as we're doing right here. And what you'll see right away is before it even shows you the message, it wants to know what's going on. So it gives us our barcode prompt first. So we'll go ahead and just put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. Hit apply. And now it wants a lot number. So for that, we'll just do 2, 3, 4, 5 and hit apply. There we go. And what you'll see here, it's kind of hard to tell on this screen, but we'll zoom in. But our numbers or our information will have been populated here. So we'll go to our magnifying glass there, and we'll go ahead and take a look at, there's our lot number 2, 3, 4, 5, and there's our barcode right there, 1 through 9. So we've gone ahead and successfully changed those elements on the message. So that is how to do it if you are just pulling the message up. But let's say you have the message up and you want to change those elements. You don't have to go in here. What you can do is go ahead and look at this icon in the lower left-hand corner. This is your keyboard for your user data. So if your message has a user data element in it, this keyboard should be illuminated so that you can change it. So we'll go ahead and just select that. And again, we've got our barcode that we won't change, but I'll change this to 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. And now let's take a look at that message real quick. And yep, there we go. 3, 4, 5, 6, and our barcode stayed the same. So that's how you can go ahead and manipulate that those user data fields once you have them on your controller. Pretty straightforward, but it's a good feature to have in your toolbox moving forward. So again, I'm Nick Rodriguez with the Squid Ink service team. I hope you found today's video on using the user data feature on your Copilot printers useful. For more videos like this, go ahead and find us elsewhere on the web or on YouTube. Thanks.